Sure. All right. We can
Okay.
try. Push comes to shove, right? I guess I could just hold it like this, huh?
You can. It's nice light.
Okay, so for today's session, for those of you at home, we're having yet another very interesting technical difficulty in the classroom. Usually it's at a distance, but today it's here. So what we're going to do today is talk about avoiding bias. And I think I can just hold it like this. So I did post some handouts, and the rest of you, if any of you have, is there wireless? Are we getting wireless? No wireless.
No wireless.
My goodness. Well, there's just a few notes that I have for you for today. And what I wanted to do is I'll go through these, and then I have some activities for us to do. Okay? And so I think that'll work out just fine. So first of all, what we want to do when we're working with our clients who are from different cultures is we want to avoid bias as much as possible. And what we can do is, so first of all, potential areas for bias are all the things that we've been talking about so far in class. Our interactions with the clients, just us being us. That's probably going to be the number one trickiest one. But then also our behavior. There may be differences in teaching style, expectations, things like that could potentially cause some bias. Differences in expectations. I think that one, no matter who you're working with, that can be very challenging. And I know over the weekend that was some of the things, or last week I was thinking with the MASHA conference, there were some differences in expectations, and I was kind of reflecting on that. And that didn't even really cross cultures necessarily. I think those are just things that occur. Okay, it just went black. Oh, there it is. Okay, I'll just have to hide the pad there. So, and then a lot of times I have this pile here. I'll show the folks here at home. I've got this pile of stuff, and this is just a sampling from our clinic here. But now we're looking at our materials and our products. So when you go out and work in the field, you're going to have a lot of choices about the products that you use and that you purchase or that are left for you. That's usually what I see in most of the places where I've worked. There's an accumulation of all kinds of junk that's been left for me, and I have to sift through it. And that's usually the first thing I do is just toss things when I get into a new position. But anyway, so we're going to focus a lot on bias in the products that we use. So when we want to consider incorporating diversity, we want to be very purposeful in our selections. And I'm going to talk about some of the issues about making these different choices. What was that? I'm guessing he's looking for a breaker, but I guess if you want to go try and see what they're up to, you're welcome to. Okay, that didn't need to be. So what you want to do is, I guess one of the things I wanted to point out too is when you're interacting with different cultures, you need to be cautious. So when we were at the MASHA convention this week, one of the things that I thought was interesting, the woman who was next to me worked on one of the Indian reservations in the state. And so things would come up for example, on the iPad day, she was talking, an example was put up and there was a picture of an owl flashed up on the screen. And the woman next to me, she wasn't Native American, but she was immersed in that culture, and she kind of gasped. She's like, oh, well, I wouldn't use that. Anybody know why you don't use owls with the Native American population? It means death, yeah. And so if you're working with that population, it's little things like that. You wouldn't, maybe you have a really cute little owl activity that you want to make, a little owl puppet or something. That would not go over well if you're working in that culture. And so that's something to be aware of. It was funny listening to her, and I was just so pleased at how in tune she seemed to be with her culture. Hi. Yes, that would be great. There we go. Okay. Thanks. All right, so there was the magic button. I'm going to stop this. Okay, it's not stopping. Where's the magic?
The magic.
And you just have to